Good morning, Flo. I wanted to ask you a two-part question about running backs. The first, with the news that Kalen Ballage failed his physical, where does he stand with the organization? And also, what is the team's level of interest in Leonard Fournette now that he's available?
As far as well, anyone, we look at the waiver wire every day. So, to your Fournette question, Chris and the scouting staff, they'll make their evaluations, write a report, and we'll just kind of see, like all players who hit the waiver wire or street free agents, we'll see if we feel like it's will be a good fit for us. If we do, then we'll make a move. If not, then we won't. As far as the Kalen situation, obviously he reverted back to us, and we've had obviously discussions internally, and that's an ongoing situation, and we'll address it when it's when necessary to address.
John?
Hey, Flo, I wanted to just check in with you and on your stance on how the rookie class as a whole has done, knowing that they had no OTAs in preseason, and, now that we're at the last week before you guys make some big decisions, how you think the rookie class that you drafted as a whole has done to adapting to everything that comes with being a Dolphin.
Yeah, I think given the situation, I think they've worked hard. They've improved over the course of training camp. But, the big thing with the rookies, on our team and really across the league is you never really know about a player until there's live action. Some guys get tight when it's live action. Some guys play better when there's live action. So you just don't, it's hard to know. So we're going to go into the unknown this season. A little bit more in the preseason. But even that isn't a regular season game. So, I think, I'm pleased with our rookie class. All of them really, from the guys who we drafted early to the undrafted guys. I think they're all working hard. I think they're all bought in, but there's a lot of unknown here. As you guys could imagine, there's, playing in an NFL game, this is the speed of it, the pressure that's involved in playing in the game, the players you're playing against. I mean, these guys are big, they're physical, they're strong, they're tough, they're angry. So, when you get put in that situation, pressure bust pipes is a phrase that's been used, for a long time, and we'll see. And it's not just us; that's every team.
Omar?
So I want to ask you primarily about your rookie lineman, not necessarily Austin Jackson, but the decisions that you have to make with Robert Hunt or Solomon Kinley, who fills in on that right side of that line. What goes into your judgment? Is it where Jesse Davis best fits, or which rookie do you feel is further ahead and ready to start? Is it conditioning? I mean, what goes into the thought process on that decision you have to make on the right side?
I mean, all those things, everything you mentioned goes into the decision. Conditioning, best fit, best overall. But I would say, the number one thing is the overall group. We're talking about 5 guys. We need to get on the same page from a communication standpoint. And I think, the 3 rookies, Austin, Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley, I think they've all played well at times during training camps. They've all made mistakes as well. So, these are tough decisions that we have to make. And look, things change over the course of the season. So, like I was telling Josh earlier, we may feel a certain way now, put a group out there, and look, if a player freezes up, then we got to make an adjustment. I think we all know that. So, but I like where they're at. I think they're all working, and look, we're still in a little bit of an evaluation phase here. We got to practice today, a couple of practices later in the week, so no official decisions have been made. And honestly, you guys probably won't know till opening day. So the exact what it is. So, but I like where they're all at.
Barry?
Hi, Brian. It's good to see you. I haven't been able to ask you any questions because of Zoom issues, so I'm going to make up for it with two. Okay. First one was, are you open to using a Landon Roberts at fullback, or do you want him to focus solely on defense? And also curious how close the Tua Rosen competition is for the number 2 job.
So Roberts, obviously Landon's played fullback in the past. And look, he's someone who's willing to play wherever we ask him to play. But we got a lot of guys that way. So it's definitely a possibility, Barry. I would say that. But, it's not something that, we're going to make any definitive decision on right now. We still got 12 days. So that's where we're at, where they landed. As far as Tua Rosen, and might as well throw Fitzpatrick in there as well. That's still a lot of competition at that position. So, we're not saying somebody's 1, 2, 3. It's still a competition. And obviously Fitz has played well. They've all played well in spurts, and they've all made mistakes. And we just gotta, we still gotta keep it. Still got a few days here, but I think that we like where all 3 of them are, and we will continue to leave that as a competition moving forward. Good to see you, Barry.
Good morning, Flo. You hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I guess a little two-parter for me too. I guess we're getting closer to cut down day. So I wanted to ask, what's your comfort level on who you think your 53 is, I guess, at this point? Is I guess my first part. And the second part, I know you just mentioned the quarterbacks. Is there a day, I guess, going into week 1, you would like to know who my QB1 is, or at least tell us who your QB1 is?
So in the 53, I mean, look, we've got, a lot of competition on this team, various positions. So, I mean, it's probably, let's call it 60 players vying that, we feel good about, to include, and probably a little bit more than that when you start talking about practice squad spots as well, with there being 16 practice squad spots this season. So, there's a lot of, I think we got some talented players, some guys we can develop. So as far as forecasting, who the best players or who the guys we think can develop, that becomes a little bit of a longer conversation, to say the least, Cam. As far as who the 53 are, I kind of look at it as who the 69 are, to be honest with you. And we're going to have to release some of those guys and hope that we get them back. So on the practice squad. But yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty good, idea of who the, let's call it 69 players are. And the next question was QB1. When would we like to know? As soon as possible. When will you guys know? Probably as late as possible is, where I leave it.
Joe?
That's a nice chair you got there, Cam. I like that. Is that you got a little nice little blanket there too.
Good morning, Flo. Joe here.
Joe.
Will giving Tua more time and separation from his injury be a part of the discussion about who is active at the quarterback position? Or is that at this time no longer a factor? Is it not a part of this discussion or the equation?
I was just kind of focused on your pronunciation. It was good. I got the question. It's good. I'm just messing around, Joe. As far as answering that question, that is definitely part of the conversation for sure. I mean, I think we're at 10 months. It was a pretty serious injury. He looks good, though. I mean, you guys have seen him. He looks good. He looks healthy. He's moving around to his right, to his left. But yes, that's part of the conversation. Look, he's a great kid. I care about him. I want what's best for him. And that's definitely part of the conversation. So.
We got time for two more. We'll go to Alan.
Good morning, Brian. Wanted to ask you quickly about Julian Davenport. How would you assess his development over the past year?
He's made a lot of improvements. He's stronger. He made a lot of gains in the offseason. His technique, his footwork's, a lot better. He's made a lot of improvement. Obviously started with, some games last year. I've been very happy with him, and I've seen a lot of improvement. We would have no problem putting him in the game.
Final one, Omar.
I want to ask you a little bit about your comfort level with your receiver depth, especially considering the injuries that you've got and Preston's pre-existing injury. Where is that comfort level, and what have you seen from guys like Hollins, Ford, Rogers?
Depth chart, huh? Get your depth chart. Get your depth chart.
We are putting the 53 together in like Saturday, so we need to sort of stack it up in what they bring to the table.
Okay. Yeah, I feel guys like Ford, Hollins, Rogers. Obviously, you mentioned Devontae and Preston and Jakeem. I think they're all. I like the depth. They're all working. They all understand kind of their role in the offense. Malcolm Perry's part of that as well. They all have different and unique skill sets. So I like the depth, and I think their role in the kicking game will also play a role in that evaluation, whether it's Jakeem as a punt returner, Mac Hollins as a gunner, Malcolm Perry, in his roles as a punt returner, as a PP on punt. Isaiah Ford, who can move around and play multiple positions. So, I like the depth. It's a hardworking group, and they all block. It's important to them. So I think I like the group. So, Joe Shad, I was just busting your chops, man. I hope you don't take that. Don't take it personally. Same as I was busting Cam's chops too. I'm not trying to kill anyone here.